Yep. What up? What up? How's everybody doing? Alexander, what up? JR, what up? Kim, what up? Everett, what up? Want to send me one of those fancy hoodies? I've done a full detox from trading yesterday to reset my mind. There you go, Dakota. Very nice. Erica, what up? Nice. ODT. You're looking fresh, my boy. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. A little, not frustrated, but I was watching this. So this is a bullish 4-hour gap that we're in right here. And on the 5-minute, I was watching this. We swept this this London low, perfect V-shaped recovery, tapped right back into this 5-minute BPR. Was like that close to pulling the trigger and taking this trade. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna hold off. And it is gone 107 points. 107. You made 6,000 yesterday? I did, yeah. I'm up. Let's see here. This month has started off very strong. I am up. It's 6,000 yesterday, almost 5,000 the day before, and then 6.6 thousand the day before that. So we're up 17.4 so far on the month. We're only 3 days in, 4 days in. But you got to take things one day at a time, man. You can't look at it like that because it's easy to get overly confident, and you can give that back very quickly. I can tell you from my experience, if you're not careful and you don't keep a level head and follow your rules, that it's very easy to give that back in the blink of an eye. So I'm not even focused on it, to be honest. June is absolutely going to be a great month. Yeah, it is. I'm speaking it into existence. But yeah, this 5-minute BPR here after the sweep of London, perfect V-shaped recovery. Only reason that I didn't take it is because of this 1-hour inversion here. We've now negated this inversion, I believe, but at the time that was holding. So that was the reason I faded it, even though if I had taken it, we still would have been able to pull out, close to 60 points. But it's all good. Yo, what up, Kyle? What up, Juco? David, what's up, man? Lucid capture payouts at 2K for the 50K fundeds. But you can take a payout on 5 accounts at a time, so you can take 10K out in one go around every 5 days. Potter's back. Oh, man. Feels like you're lying about a lot. What have I said, Potter? Oh man, you know you're doing something right when you have consistent haters that show up in the chat. Potter, it seems like you're lying about a lot if you have time on a Thursday morning prior to market open to be trolling inside of people's TikTok lives when you're supposedly making millions. The people I know who are very, very wealthy, for one, they don't even have TikTok, let alone spend their mornings trolling. So I'm gonna make a couple of different analyses based on your behavior. One is you don't have a family, because if you did, you'd be spending time with them. And two is you don't have a job, because if you did, you wouldn't have time for this. And I mean trading included. But I love you, brother. Praying for you. Appreciate you being here. FPB, what up, man? Daggin, what up? Daz, my London low, I keep my London session from 2 a.m. Eastern time to 8 a.m. Eastern time. So this low that I had marked was from, if you're on the 5-minute chart, 6:55 a.m. Eastern time. Up 900, took a trade on London, which I don't usually do, not trying to make this some bad habit. Hey, if it presents itself, man, capitalize. Impulse, what up? Where the tortoise at? It's been a little chilly here, man. It was low 60s this morning. Yeah, I highly doubt that he runs that, though, Everett. I highly doubt that. You ever think about streaming on Discord? Yep, I do. I do think about that. I've done it before, and I didn't have enough people that made it worthwhile. I need a dedicated camera for that. I have a dedicated camera for the YouTube. I have a dedicated camera for the TikTok, because I don't want to pay an astronomical amount of money to simul stream with one camera. So once I get another camera, I might start doing that. They go into hiding when it's cold. Yeah, they crawl into their shells. I don't trade all my accounts together, JR. I trade each firm together. So I'll trade my Lucid accounts together. I'll trade my TPT accounts together, but I don't trade across firms. PJ uses Discord, and it's really nice. He charges. So if I did, I might start streaming on Discord. We'll see. Oh yeah, today's the first day of that, isn't it? ODTE? Is today the first day of that? Yeah, he does run a great Discord, man. He's one of the few that I would recommend people check out. You're starting a Bible study on Discord first, though, right? That would be a good idea. Yeah, June 4th. That's what I thought. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. A lot of people are going to be blowing their savings. Kirby, what's up, man? Who watched that Knicks game last night? We got any basketball people in here? I'm hungry. ODTE is 0DT, not ODTE, but it's 0 days to expiration. It's an options. Went from negative 250 to plus 850 pre-market. Make sure you're not taking too many trades, JR. Knicks won. Knicks won by 10, I believe. 105 to 95. Yeah, before you had to have 25,000 minimum balance to have unlimited day trades, and now they got rid of that. I think there still is a minimum though, isn't there? Is it no minimum at all, or is there a minimum of like? I didn't read the actual legislation that, or the rules that got passed. There's no minimum at all. 2,000 men. Somebody 0 day says no men. Somebody said 2,000 men. Yeah, I missed that trade too, man. I watched it go by. There was a 1 hour inversion here that we had been respecting that I was hesitant to trade into. But if you're talking about that 5-minute BPR after the V shape right here, I was spotting that as well. This 5-minute right here. I took one trade per account, per firm. JR. So I traded one Lucid trade, one My Funded Futures trade, and one Personal Capital trade. How confident are you in your trading skills? 10. Very confident. I'm not the way that I would answer that question is my trading skill is very confident, but what I rely on more so than anything is a system that I've built centered around rules that I follow, and if I follow the rules, I make money. Yes, if my life depended on it, I could trade my way out of it for sure. It's possible to enter a trade on TradingView with group accounts. You got to execute on TradingView. If you're doing the group, copy trading from TradingView, you got to execute on TradingView. How many evals did you blow to your first payout? I don't remember exactly. It was less than 10 because you got to remember I came from Forex. I traded Forex along with Personal Capital for a long period of time before I discovered futures and discovered prop firms. So I had been trading for a while prior to discovering prop firms. So it wasn't like I started from zero and I had some market experience prior to that. What do you think's going to happen when SpaceX goes on the market? It's going to be interesting for the S&P 500. It's going to be very interesting. Blew a lot of money on Forex. Yeah, I did too. Yeah. If you're watching Christian Trades Live, you're on the right track to being profitable. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Christian, do you have your LaCroix and coffee? Better get those before open. The LaCroix and the espresso. We're in there. We're ready to go, baby. You trade ICT? I trade order flow and momentum combined loosely with ICT concepts. And what I mean by that is if a setup like this were to have presented itself, or it did present itself, but if this had happened when market was open, I probably would have taken this. This is an ICT trade here. Sweep a London low, V-shaped recovery, tap back into this 5-minute BPR. Draws on liquidity were higher, at least this swing point here that I had marked out. So, but most of the trades that I've taken over the past couple of months have been order flow momentum trades. Hey, Ruben, glad to have you, man. You better get a refill just in case. I want a cappuccino. This is a cortata. So it's half milk, half espresso. Rome, what's up, man? You ever heard of someone getting flagged for quick trades? No, not unless you're using a system that's doing high frequency trades, like super quick. But like I've said before, JR, that's not necessarily the best way to trade. You will get burned. There's no longevity in that unless you're using some sort of algorithm. When you're talking about, quant firms like Jane Street, they use, they have different sectors, so they have people who swing trade. They have people that do all kinds of different things. They have different sectors for different types of trading. They have sectors for people who are writing algorithms for high frequency trades. And that's like you're executing thousands of trades within seconds. So that's what high frequency trading is. But trying to do that manually, you need to find something that's a sustainable strategy. There's scalping, and that's kind of what order flow and momentum is to an extent. But it's not where you're opening and closing a trade in a second. You need to understand the principles of why you're taking the trade. And more often than not, the reason you're taking a trade is you're targeting a specific level of liquidity, meaning there's a point where orders have built up, where sellers are trapped or buyers are trapped, and prices tends to go back to that level, and you're trying to target that level. So if you're taking a trade, you're taking it with the intent on targeting that level. So you're holding until it hits that level or until it's gone to a point where your trade is no longer valid, which is where your stop loss should be. You trading ES? Nice. Yeah, I think if we invert this 15, we could get a pretty strong push, but I'm not sure what to expect. We do have news at 10, I believe, right? Orange folder news, yeah. Unemployment claims were at 8:30. Never mind. Scott Bessent's set to speak at 10 a.m. He's the Treasury Secretary. Oh, nice. You're holding. Okay, I got you. I hope it plays out for you, Ron. You got some good support here coming in underneath us, so it should allow you to push up a good bit. We'll see what happens. What did you say your target was? What's your target, Ron? To that London high, or are you going all the way back up? Getting aggressive over there, Ballas. Jonesing. 7604.50. Oh wow, you're going all the way back up. Could definitely happen. We had a pretty strong sell-off overnight, so bouncing out of this 4-hour could definitely happen. We'll see though. Fund is looking shaky. How do you get into this? I have a video pinned on my page that will explain, if you're brand new, how to get into this, how I would get into it if I was starting over. Went for a 1.5 mile jog this morning, feeling good. There you go, man. Mac, yeah, definitely recommend it, dude. Definitely recommend it. The cool thing about that regret, though, is you can change it today. Today. I stopped working out when I was like 21. When I got sober at 28, the day that I got sober, January 6, 2022, I went and signed back up for the gym and have been going ever since. Almost every day. I will say there's been some time recently where I've been missing, but I can tell you it's very beneficial, man. Verse of the day. 1 Chronicles 29:11. Yours, O Yours, O Lord, is the greatness and the power and the glory and the majesty and the splendor. For everything in heaven and earth is yours. Yours, O Lord, is the kingdom. You are exalted as head over all. Do you go to AA? I used to when I first got sober. Well, when I was, dude, I've been in and out of the rooms since I was like 16. So yeah, when I was younger, I did. It's a 10 out of 10 verse. You hate it, JR? I love it, man. I love that feeling. I'm sore right now, man. I fried my triceps. Feels good. Take Profit, what's up, bro? Vesemir, what up? I don't work out because it hurts. It's a low T comment, Dylan. Yeah, it's on the PC. I'm using a Sony DSLR camera, and I'm using the TikTok Studio app. I trade NQ. I say I trade NQ and ES, but most recently I've been trading strictly NQ. I hit a spicy upper day this morning. Slamming an anabolic breakfast. I love that. I think the long bias is decent. I mean, we're delivering well out of this 4-hour gap here. You know how I am, though, Jaden, and you've heard me say this enough. I don't like to establish a bias pre-market. I wait for the market to open, because as soon as it opens, things can get crazy and it can completely change. Things could shift. As it sits right now, it looks like longs were the play. I don't know that I would FOMO into the trade at this point. I'd look for a retrace back down before I'd enter a long. But if you had gone long off this 5-minute BPR right here, would have been an excellent trade. Happened to coincide with rejection out of this 4-hour. Do I push test? You're talking about test? Do I take testosterone? I used to. I have not been on it since the end of February or something. Yeah, it's been a minute. That's why I've been losing. I've lost like 30 pounds, man, since then. I was 241. I'm down into the teens right now. I think I was like 210 or 212 the other day when I weighed. Just 250 a week. I wasn't running a lot, man. I was running TRT dose. When I quit drinking, my testosterone was completely fried. My levels are fried from the alcohol, man. So, and I hadn't really taken a break since I got on it. So I just wanted to give my body a rest. My philosophy, order flow and momentum combined loosely with ICT. But my overall general philosophy is that you can be successful with almost any strategy if you can master your psychology. What I mean by that is most people can't stop clicking the button. They don't quit while they're ahead. They chase their losses. If you can master your ability to become disciplined, then I think you can find some success with almost any strategy. This is the pullback that I was talking about. Just a $2,800 computer, that's all. Is it so that it fried the motherboard pin, the Ethernet on the motherboard? Motherboards can be replaced, man. You can replace that motherboard pretty quick, Impulse. Now, if it fried your memory or something, that would, your price tag's going up a little bit there. I was looking at motherboards last night. I think I'm going to build a new computer soon. Christian, can you give your analysis for today? I don't really have one at this moment, other than these longs off this 5-minute BPR would have been nice, delivered out of this 4-hour gap. We're starting to get a push down here. This could just be a retracement back into this area just to go long, but it could continue to dump. We'll see. We've dumped pretty aggressively since we had all-time highs. So since 8 a.m. yesterday, really, we've been dumping. So I'm not necessarily trying to counter trade. So if we start to get heavy aggressive movements to the downside, I'm just going to ride that wave. What's your skincare routine? I don't have one, man, but I do use coconut butter lotion every morning and every night before I go to bed. Mostly do it for the beard. You guys, I knew that was going to come. What mascara do you use? The waterproof kind, man. Any advice on how to keep a neutral bias? Just don't do it. Just don't establish one. I don't know, man. I used to do that. I used to establish a bias, and I got burned so many times because I would kind of get tunnel vision on looking for one direction setups, and it really closed me off from being able to capitalize on other opportunities. So. Yeah, I love the cocoa butter, man. Keeps the beard nice and moisturized, you know. You're 5'3", dang, man. Impulse, I was looking for some little people to hire for a birthday party. Do you do birthday parties? Just kidding. That's mean. I'm sorry. I'm kidding, dude. I'm sorry. One of my best friends is short. He's like 5'5" or so. Everett said, "What's it like to not be able to ride a roller coaster?" Retrace back to this 4-hour and reject it out of it. See if it keeps pushing down. I always win Halloween costume contests. That's funny. I'm so short I grow muscle by thinking about the gym. That is funny. All right, guys, good luck. Stay patient today. Don't take stupid trades. Don't over leverage. You know the deal. That's who I was talking about, JR Moose. He's like 5'5". He's a little guy. Good luck, everybody. TradingView just froze. Tap back into that 5 minute right there. Aaron, what's up, man? Tap into that 5 and rejection right out of it. This is the 5 minute. Nice, perfect rejection out of that 5 minute, dude. Tons of orders at 260, or excuse me, 250. It's 350. Right above us where that line is. Boom, there's a 350. And then there's more all the way up to 400 now. What do you mean, JR? Like after I get off, do I take trades? I have before. Recently, I haven't been doing that, man. I've been trying to be very disciplined about sticking to my trades. I think the other day I did do it. There was a long that took place in the afternoon because of some news, and I did capitalize on that. I think I had 3,000. I made 3,000 on the stream, and then I made another 3,000 after I got off in the afternoon. But I've been trying to be very disciplined about sticking to this 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. window. I just made 125 on the personal capital on that. Rejection out of the 5 minute, I opened up 2 micros. Targeted that 350 level. This is in queue, yeah. This is in queue. I'm gonna switch accounts real quick. Make sure all these orders are closed. Switch over to the Lucids. Glad I closed at that 350 level. Order is down at 300, flashing aggressively. 30,300 underneath us. Pushing up. There's still tons of liquidity above us, but this 30,300 is flashing. I don't know if it's going to want to grab that and then go back up. Sorry, I was on the 15. I meant to be on the 5 for you guys there. Yeah, this is going to keep pushing, I believe. That 30,300 is still flashing, so. Oof, Nando. That sucks, man. I'm sorry. There's that 300. Hit it on M and Q. That sucks, Nando. I'm sorry, man. Caught that move to the upside for 350. Very nice. A lot of liquidity down to 30,200 here. Still got this 200 level. There it is. Shit. fell through the bottom there. There's tons down to 60s now. Excuse my language. I just did something so fucking stupid. I can't believe I just did that. Where's your head, Christian? Where's your head? Where is your head? I was short there, and I put a sell stop for more short orders instead of buy orders to close the position. Where is your head? What are you doing, dude? All right, King. Have a good day, man. Congratulations. That's nice. Very nice. Good work. Am I not trading today? Make sure I ask that. There you go, Hunter. Got stopped by a tick, then it went straight to TP. It's frustrating. Rafiki, what up? Is that you, Dean? Why do you keep changing your name? Currently doing the one trade a day challenge for the month, and I've won one time and lost 3 times. Keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. As long as you're risking appropriately. What did that one win outweigh the losses, or are you net negative right now? It's hard to tell, David. Price keeps oscillating back and forth. Feels like it wants to dump, but it's just not breaking loose. We're still in this 4-hour gap here. You got to keep that in mind. Yeah, there's orders down to the 60s, 30,160. But we're also in a 1-hour gap here. Or excuse me, a 4-hour gap, 4-hour bullish gap. Net negative, I usually risk around 250 per trade, but I try and target my TPs anywhere from 1 to 1 to 1.5. Order right above us at 75.58 on ES, but this is just chopping around right now. I feel like it wants to go to the downside here, but it's really, really hard to tell. Tons of orders to the upside on ES, tons of orders to the downside on NQ. No, I don't look at Dow Jones, I look at ES. ES is usually leading for the most part. You're scared? Don't be scared. Day before NFP, so this is what we're getting here. So we get some really wiki action. I don't know what it's going to do. Give up. Never give up. I don't know what it's going to do. It keeps looking like it wants to go up, then go down. Look at these. If you're on the 5-minute chart, look at these 5-minute candles. You got currently 2 closed doji 5-minute candles in the process of making a third one. and orders down to 60s, 30,000, 160 on NQ right now, but they've been resting there. I mean, in normal conditions, this would just dump to the downside all the way to those orders. But ES is almost the exact opposite. You got orders to the upside just as heavily on ES as you do NQ on the downside. So I'm sitting on my hands. I'm pulling for you, Rome. I got you marked out on my chart here. Where did it go? I did have you marked out. You said you were at 76.0450 is your TP, right? Guys, let people do what they want. If he sees something that fits his criteria for taking the trade and he's following his system, let him do it. Everybody trades different. I wouldn't be in a trade right now personally, but I'm not going to tell somebody else what to trade. Still heavy orders on NQ to the downside here. I'll show you what I'm looking at. This is NQ, but ES is the exact opposite. So we'll see what happens. We're pretty decoupled here. Bookmap's a little over $100 a month. In normal circumstances, this would be dumping all the way down to these 60s. It would be pretty much guaranteed. But we're not. I mean, these orders have been resting there for a while, and it hasn't been behaving properly, so I'm hesitant to even get in. Today may be first loss of the week on which way the market breaks out this consolidation. Yeah, keep your powder dry. What is going on, dude? What the fuck? I'm on the leader account. What is the deal? I'm getting... I'm about to jump off of here, to be honest, man. I'm pissed right now. Fucking Trade Sinker just fucked me out of $289 for some reason because it wouldn't close the position, and then I get a message that they're having an error. Why would you let me open the fucking trade if you guys are having an issue? Like, so annoying, dude. There's no excuse for that kind of bullshit. Fucking people out of their money. Bro. We don't want your gold signals, dude. I mean, that is infuriating. It's not a lot of money, but it's the principle of the matter. It is a lot of money if you look at it from both ways, because I was up almost $1,000, and instead of making $1,000 on 2 accounts, I lost $289 on 2 accounts. It's infuriating. You got the notification right when you enabled your accounts? It didn't give it to me until I tried to close that position. Calling out that 160 level for an hour. Finally, we started to get a move to that direction. I play it perfectly, stayed patient, and still get screwed out of $280. Technically, screwed out of $1,280. Oh, good. Part of the game. Excuse my language. Better make sure that these orders are actually canceled inside a trade of 8, since craziness. Craziness, craziness. I've always used TradeSyncer. I use TradeSyncer. Yeah, I've always used TradeSyncer. Well, that's 2 screw ups on the day. That one's not my fault. The first one was my fault. I mean, I don't know what where my head was. Having a stop loss set that actually added to my order instead of closing the order was a real bonehead move. Real bonehead. Two slips today. One on my part, one on the technical side. Stupid. How's the ES looking here? Still pushing up. They told you broke a rule on the eval? What rule did you break? That's pretty hard to do unless really the only rule that they have on the eval is the max loss limit. Shoot me a screenshot of the email that they sent you. I've never had that happen. Yeah, hedging is another thing. If you took a long... But you paid you shouldn't have had to pay an activation fee if you used a code, right? There should have been no activation fee at all. When you use a creator code, whether it's my code or anyone else's, they waive the activation fee. So did you still pay the activation fee? You shouldn't have had an activation fee. There should have been a credit in the credit bank when you go to activate the account. You go through the steps like you're going to the checkout to pay the activation fee, and then you scroll down in that little window where you can select the payment method. and it'll say credit bank, and it should have a 1 next to the credit bank. If it doesn't have it, when you go to activate it, never pay the activation fee. Email them about it and make sure that it's squared away. I've never had it happen to me, but I've had other people say that that credit isn't in that credit bank there. But if you use a code, there shouldn't be an activation fee, especially for that during that 50% off sale. Very nice, David. Love to hear that, man. Can you do a handstand? A headstand? No, I cannot. Show yes, here you go. Yo, can you fix the price action today? Hey, David made 2,000, man. How do you know I use it? Oh boy. If we close below the resistance level, I'll break even. Palace, what's up, man? About to take my first payout now because I've been trying to build a huge buffer, but I need some capital for the next evals. There you go. Yeah, I don't have any news. No US news. Unless you're talking about yellow folder. Yeah, you're talking about, I think you're talking about yellow folder, the natural gas storage. I'm not worried about any of that. If it's not orange or red folder, I don't really worry about it. What's going on with price? Day before NFP, man. NFP's tomorrow. This is what you get. This is why journaling is so important. You're like, man, what is going on? And then you look back and you can see, oh, this is kind of how price behaves the day before NFP. There's orders above on ES and NQs all over the place. It's not clear. Should I shut it down? I would, Dallas, yeah. Yeah. You've had a good week so far, I think, from what I remember, so I wouldn't risk it. I'm down 289 on 289 on one My Funded Futures account. I'm down 2,000 on 5 Lucid accounts because of that little slip up. This is what I was saying at the beginning of the session, man. It can change you sit there and focus too much on your P&L. I was up 17.4 on the month so far going into the session. Now I'm only up 7,000. Changes. Little mistakes like that can cost you a lot of money. What platform do you use to view the order flow? I use Bookmap. So ES is bouncing all over the place. It's not predictable. Or excuse me, NQ is bouncing all over the place. It's not predictable. ES has these orders above us that we seem to be attracted to. You taking a couple weeks off, Aaron? Hope you're all right, man. We'll be here when you decide to come back. Tomorrow is another day. It's all right, Zach. Tomorrow is another day. We got NFP tomorrow, so I might not, might be crazy price action then too. And we just end the week on a positive note and don't take any trades, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe we'll get some crazy setups. I feel you, Aaron. Check out PJ's, man. Check out PJ. I highly recommend it. Took the day off. My psychology was off. Nothing wrong with that. That's smart. I used to love MQ. The volatility is just too intense for my trading style. I get that. You too, Zach. Have a good one, man. Love you too, man. Take care, Aaron. Nice beard. How long did it take? It hadn't been that long since I shaved. I appreciate that, though. Thank you. Gabe, we had some malfunctions over here. I was in the short, was up 1,000 on my Lucid accounts and was trailing my stops pretty aggressively. Right here? No, over here. Yeah, over here. And being a dummy, I was sized pretty aggressively. I was in total for 2 minis, but we were up and had a sell stop that I was trailing, but I didn't pay attention to myself. A very stupid mistake. I had, instead of having a buy limit as my sell stop, I had a sell limit. So it added 2 contracts. So it was a total of 4 minis and it shot up. So I'm down 2,000 on 5 Lucid accounts, and I'm down. I had another glitch because of TradeSyncer with their system. It was up 1,000 on one of their accounts and it didn't close the trade. Something happened and I ended up down $280. So we're down $10,280 minus, I'm up 125 on personal capital. A little bit of a frustrating day, but we're not going to make the problem worse by overtrading or revenge trading or chasing losses or any of that. We're still up 7,300 for the week. Yeah, you're pumping, dude. ES is pumping. Yeah, that's the first time in a while I've had a problem with TradeSyncer, man, but that is very frustrating to have that issue. Very frustrating. touching the VWAP here. We've rejected off the VWAP once before at market open, so I'm not sure if NQ will reject this or not. What up? It happens, Ant. It happens. You gotta dip your toes in the water, figure out the temperature, and then you gotta make it happen. What is going on here? What is going on? Something's going on with Trade Evade or something. Bro, nobody wants your gold signals. All right, I don't know what's going on with that. No, Packjaw, I'm not. Something's going on with my funded futures accounts where every time I try to open the trade, it opens it for like a split second and then closes it. TradeSyncer is not connected. Typically that happens if you're trying to trade on an account that is not the lead account. I don't have anything connected to TradeSyncer right now. So I'm wondering if it's just an issue with Trade Evade. It'll open it for a split second and then it closes it. I don't know what the deal is. I've signed out, signed back in, signed out of TradingView, signed back in. Don't know. Really not sure. I just did it again. So yeah, there's something wrong there. It's always something, man. Got my 4th winning day in a row. Scared of when the streak ends. The select accounts, you can do daily payouts. You're limited to only $1,000 a day though, with the 50K accounts. Can't remember all the differences. It tells you on the website, like you can compare them. You scroll down on the home page. Very nice, Will. Yeah, you wait till the end of the day. So Tradeovate must have an issue. Is that the deal with FPB? Do I have to subscribe to TradingView to get real market data? You need to have the basic plan, and then you got to subscribe to the data separately. CME data. A lot of them do come with CME data, yeah. A lot of prop firms provide CME data. Very nice, Will. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I got you. I wonder if I can make it so you guys can see more of this. How do I think the market is today? Unpredictable for my trading to an extent. I mean, there's been a couple of things that I've eyeballed that played out perfectly, but I've had some technical issues, had some bonehead mistakes on my part. One bonehead mistake, technical issue. For some reason, I can't get a trade to open on my funded futures accounts. It'll open and close immediately. So for me, today has all in all not been the best. But these things happen. Just got to stay patient. Yeah, Dallas, I'll be on tomorrow. You want to see ES? There's ES. I'm in this trade right here off of the 5-minute tap back. Got a really bad fill on it. Was trying to get in on this tap back here, but just taking the order to the swing high. Stops just below the inversion. See if it plays out. This is just one TPT account. This VWAP, I was hoping that we were going to close above this VWAP, but we haven't. So that could potentially hold us up here. $10 micros. If we can get above this VWAP and close, then this is just going to shoot to these orders that are above us, but it keeps rejecting hard off this VWAP. So if I lose this trade, I'm not mad about it. I think I'm risking $400 or something. Something like that. 30-point stop, $500. Just needed to break loose of this VWAP to the upside here. I don't have high hopes for this, to be completely honest with you. That's why I'm only trading one account. It was above 6,000, it's 2,400 now. Dropping quickly. Just inverted that 5 minute. Not what we wanted to see. Not what we wanted to see. Orders coming into the 90s underneath us. Rejecting off that inversion. Orders coming into the 30s. See, the order book's shifting crazy quick today. It's just one of those days. Need to break through this VWAP for this to... Oh shit, that's changing. Sorry, I'll make this... Touching the VWAP again, rejecting off of it. A lot of orders here. Get a heavy push through this level, that would be beautiful. Not yet. It's just this VWAP, man. It's holding us up. There are orders all the way up to 400, man. So this should just, come on, behave the way you're supposed to. It's 700 across 5 accounts, very nice. ES is rejecting up there too. Rome, you still in that trade? Break even would be above close. I want to close above the VWAP, and I'll move to break even. Not liking how the book map looks here. Look at that wick, dude. Just rejecting completely off that VWAP. This is not paper. This is one take profit trader account. Edge the stop. I think this is going to hit stop, to be honest. The way the book map looks. Could be wrong. How'd you learn to trade from PJ? I learned a lot on my own. I learned the psychology from PJ, I would say. YouTube, trial and error, dumping money into the market. Tap back into this 5-minute inversion. Thought we'd create enough momentum to bust through it. ES is pumping, thinking that NQ is going to want to catch up to it. Starting to get a rejection here, but this candle was where I opened. So we'll see what happens. We just negated that inversion, so that inversion's no longer valid, the one that was a problem. Not good movement here, though. This is a take profit account. Ian, why would you do that? That chop. Unbelievable chop. If it busts loose of that VWAP, man, this could just go to the moon. Needed to break these 30s. Break the 30s. I think that's not a bad rationale that you have there, Ian. I would say that I took the trade. I have a set plan. You know what I mean? I'm going to trade the plan. I'm willing to lose the 500 or just over 500 if it does stop me out. The plan is supported by the evidence on Bookmap. It's respecting this inversion, this 5-minute inversion that's acting as support underneath us. So if I lose the trade, you know, that just is what it is. It's Kathy. Thank you for trading. She's watching. She's over on the tube. She watches almost every stream. She enjoys it. This is a 50K account. But Ian, I'm not saying you're wrong. I think you have a great rationale for what your thought process is there. Jacob, I use M&Q, so it looks cleaner. Is the beard growing in yet? Yeah, it's growing in. Is it there? Is it that? Yeah, I think it's on this side. Yeah, it's growing in. I appreciate that. There we go. Keep pushing. Do I oil it? I use like a coconut butter or a coconut lotion. Just one account, Zach. Just one TPT account. I'm down 2,000 on 5 Lucid accounts. I'm down 289 on one My Funded Future account, and I'm up 130 or something. I closed it, but 130 or so on my personal capital account. So I decided to lower my risk and just trade one My Funded Futures account. Yeah, I'll go break even if we close above the VWAP. This VWAP is just holding very stubbornly. There's plenty of orders still above us on the book map. Hey, I appreciate that, Ian. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, Zach, it was just a frustrating day. I had an error, a system error with TradeSyncer that cost me that 289 on my funded futures. And I had a bonehead move on my Lucid accounts. I was trailing my stop, but didn't realize that I was trailing it where it wasn't going to close the position. It added to it. So I was in for 2 minis on a short, and I had 2 sell limit orders as a stop loss. So when it hit that, it actually added 2 minis. And before I could close it, I was down 2 grand. So that was completely my fault. Not paying attention, being stupid. There are orders up at 400. Big heavy set here at 365 though, which is what I'm targeting. I tried. I got a bad fill. That's where I wanted to get in, was down here. I got a terrible fill on the order. It's not my day, man. I'm having all kinds of technical issues. Just swept this swing here, so if this candle closes, that would be nice. Still a ton of orders up to the TP level. If I don't go break even, you're going to pass out. Live life on the edge, man. There is trailing. I forgot that this is my funded future, so this is trailing drawdown, I think. Should just smack this TP in just a second. Knowing how my day's going, though. There we go. Full TP. Trade the plan, man. Trade the plan. Dude, I'm still down 10,000 on a day, or 9,000 now. Yeah, no need to get greedy. I could have held that trade, but that was the most obvious take profit level. And there were 2 minis on that trade. Holy cow. So you were up 2,000 then. Did you get out, or are you still holding? One mini, typically. Just one mini. Yeah, appreciate the follow, man. Appreciate that. Order's still up to 400 if you're holding this and trailing your stops. What did I take? Tap back off of this. We had a V-shaped recovery here. Tap back into this 5-minute inversion. Got a pretty bad fill on it, to be honest, but was taking the move back up to this swing point here. How can I make 5K with 2 minis? Well, that should have been 2K, right? I don't know if my math is off. I was in for 10 micros, which is 1 mini, and I made 900, unless you just got a way better fill than I did. What's your trading style? Order flow and momentum combined loosely with ICT. And what I mean loosely is that kind of thing right there. That was an ICT trade. It was dictated or influenced heavily by the order flow of Bookmap. I wouldn't do it yet, Amir. That 400 level is still pretty heavy. I mean, it could turn around, but you see all those orders above us there. Adam, what's up, man? I'm losing my voice all of a sudden. When am I going to enter a trade? Bro, what? Dude, we just sat in a trade for 30, 40 minutes. This is why I don't show trades, because you get clowns like this that show up. When are you going to take a trade? The drive-bys. This dude doesn't even trade. Do I swing? I used to, but I'm trying to quit. No, I don't swing trade really. No, it's people. It's not people that don't. Probably they don't know how to trade, but more often than not, it's just people who are drive-by viewers that just are scrolling TikTok and don't have the. I say this and it's gonna sound super mean, but they don't have the mental capacity to critically think that maybe this guy did take a trade and I've only been in here for 10 seconds. One for three, yeah. 1 for 3. Actually, 1 for 4, because I took a trade on the personal capital and made 120 on that. Sign back into that. Made like 120 bucks on the personal account, 125. But we are down 2,000 on 5 Lucid accounts and down 289 on 1 MyFund Futures account. Where are you from? North Carolina. NASDAQ is in queue. We took the same trade, nice. Currently live in Chapel Hill. Currently in Chapel Hill. Have I heard about the Outer Banks? Man, I'm born and raised in North Carolina. Oh, you're talking about they got construction issues? Is NC worth considering moving to? No, man, we're full. It's a terrible state. Do not come here. You wouldn't like it. Government takes all your money. It's dangerous. It's ugly. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. You're almost there. I got you marked out here. 760450. I marked it out for you. You live in Durham? Nice. You're right up the road. Right up the road. Nah, Zach, I'm joking. It's a great state. We're one of the fastest growing states in the country right now because everybody wants to move here. All right, Craig, take care, man. Hope you have a good weekend. How about take partials on Tradeovate? So if you're in, let's say you're in for 5 micros or something, and you're trying to take off 2, you change at the top there where you have the set number of orders that you're trying to execute, change it to 2, and then let's say you're long, you would change it to 2 and hit sell market. Or if you want to put a limit order on the chart, you just click the chart where you want the limit order to be placed, and you can put a sell limit there. I'm not on any live accounts, Zach, no. I want to be American so bad. Canada's super cooked. Yeah, there's that 400 level. So still orders up to 25 now. I'll mark that. I did. Will, I thought about that, man. You know how that goes. You've been burned by that too, I see. Yeah, that's frustrating when that happens, man. John Bolton to plead guilty to mishandling classified materials to pay a $2 million fine. Holy cow. Argentina's the move, Rome. Argentina's the move. Or Thailand. Short entry soon? I'm not sure, man. I would wait until you see, I mean, this could go all the way back up to London High. I mean, I don't see that being completely out of the realm of possibilities. There's that 225 level. Definitely want confirmation. Will, you do not want to be in Canada, bro. I can tell you that right now. Yeah, you do not want to be in Canada, man. You got pretty strong bullish order flow, Will. I'd be careful eyeballing a short delivering out of this 4 hour. This London high could be the next target. You have orders up at 30,450 now. We're tapping into this heavy 15-minute gap here that you can see. You think you're paying bad taxes? Well, Canadian taxes will get you, dude. Look that up. Yeah, you don't want to be paying Canadian taxes. By the way, healthcare isn't free. Yeah, you're paying for it in your taxes, and then you got to wait 5 years to go get an X-ray done, just to find out 2 years into the waiting time that you had cancer that could have been caught a year and a half ago, and you're already dying. My wife is letting me find a fat white girl to marry so we can be Americans. Oh, that's funny. Don't write that down, man. Keep that to yourself. They frown upon things like that here. Yes. 450 level is getting hot here. CE of this 15 is going to be interesting to keep an eye on here. Orders flashing down at 30,415 underneath us. Not heavy, but they're there. Long 325 thoughts. I mean, dude, you cooked. You cooked. You waited till you were above the VWAP? Is that what your thought process was there? I can show you the book map, and you can come to whatever conclusion you want to come to. You see these orders getting, this just got put in here a minute ago. This is getting a little heavier down here towards 400, but still the majority of the liquidity is above us. This is ES, so you got some buildup to the downside on the ES. NQ. Doo-doo, this is called Bookmap. This is level 2 data. Shows you institutional order flow. Just tap that 350 level, or excuse me, 450. CE of this 15-minute gap is at 30,457. How long did it take you to learn Bookmap? I studied it for probably a year, off and on. I think I could have made the process a little quicker if I had dedicated more time and effort to learning it. But it was about a year into using it that I felt comfortable really leaning heavily on it. I think if you do it, it's not complicated. I mean, it's you learn, you understand pretty quickly what's going on, what everything means. But to rely on it for trading, I'd say 6 months of what I recommend people doing to learn it is to dedicate certain sessions or times or days where you're not looking for a trade. You're just going to sit here and study Bookmap in conjunction, in comparison to TradingView. So have one monitor where you're looking at Bookmap and one monitor where you're looking at TradingView, and you're studying how price is behaving. About to sweep New York PM high from yesterday, Rome on ES. Dude, every time I get on here, you just yapping. I do Citadel. It's not going to do anything for me because there's such a convoluted process to actually get me any percentage of the actual sale. But if you use the code CWT for your Bookmap subscription, because you got to pay for a Bookmap subscription and you got to pay for a data subscription, 2 separate subscriptions, the code will get you 20% off of the first month of Bookmap, the Bookmap subscription. It doesn't do anything for the data. But in order for me to get anything, you got to use a link and then make sure that at the same time that you use the link, you also use my code. And it's just stupid. I've tried to get them to change their system, but they know what they're doing. They're finding a way to not pay their affiliates and still get the advertisement from them. But CWT, long story short, will get you 20% off of the first month. It does say that, yeah. These at 30,480, 478-ish, those are sell orders. There's a lot of sell orders in here, but for the most part, you just need to know whether they're orders, because whether they're buy or sell orders, price is still attracted to that level. And you can pay attention to the volume bubbles here. These volume bubbles will indicate whether the buyers or sellers are in control at that level. I can make these a little bigger for you so you can see. So these are volume bubbles. So you can see how there's more red here, there's more red there. More sellers, sellers are being executed here. Broski, I got my first payout ever, and now I have 300 to draw down left. What do I do? Size down, trade one micro, build it back up if you're trying to salvage the account. If not, YOLO it. I'd say since you've only gotten one payout ever, try to salvage the account. Book, B-O-O-K. They don't go by time frames because it's continuous. So it's basically, you can change how much data you're viewing, and this is basically changing the time frame by zooming in and out, expanding, contracting it. So right now, this is basically a 15-minute time frame, technically, and then you can drop it down to like a 5. You know, this is a 5-minute, basically. So from the left side of the screen to the right, it's 5 minutes total. A lot of liquidity being injected under us here. What does the blue indicate? So these are all orders. If it's not black, like the black area is where it's not registering orders based on either settings or because there's just nothing there. But from blue all the way up to bright red, that's the order. That's the scale of least orders to most orders. So blue would be a low number of orders. Red would be a very high number of orders. You guys are gonna have the new people in here thinking that you're serious. I'm about to hop off. I'm staying until 11:30. Torta. I absolutely think VWAP and volume profile is worth it. Yeah, great combination. Hey, I appreciate that. Say when. Glad you're here, man. Glad you're getting something out of it. God bless you too, bro. That's exactly right, J-Rod. Yeah, based on the book map, you can get a pullback to that 420 level, and depending on how price behaves, once it reaches that, it could create momentum and go lower, bouncing off of this 15, but it's not guaranteed. What is the chart with the balls? It's called Bookmap. It's a level 2 data software. I did go long off the 5-minute inversion earlier. Torta means cake in my language, as well as Mexican. He never takes trades. Oh, the hip needs to pop. Order flow and momentum combine loosely with ICT. Chris doesn't trade. $75, $73.50. Oh, you hit it. So you're not holding all the way up to that 76.04. You had PM high here at 75.88 and hit that. I think. Did it hit it? Edged it. TP smack, nice. No, I haven't taken another trade. Trading into premium here into a 15-minute gap. Get out of here. They should sponsor you? Who? LaCroix? I wish. Christian drinks LaCroix live. I've heard these are really bad for you. They have like the forever chemicals or heavy metals or something in them. Somebody was telling me that the other day. I hope that's not true. That's why I've been kind of cutting back on them. Ken, appreciate that, man. You are too. Have a good day. Yeah, you're probably right, Mac. I drink water mostly, man. Like, this is a metal water thing. I drink filtered mineral water and that. I drink probably 3 of those a day at least. I do drink LaCroix while I'm sitting here trading because it's like something fizzy. I can promise you that it's a lot better than what I used to drink. I could go on a spiel about that, Mac, but I would be called all kinds of names if I did. Anti-Semitic would probably be the most common one that would be used if I told you what I really thought and why they poison us with our food and water. Curious why you still use fair value gaps. Do you think they're a valid source of confirmation? In some cases, yes. When you have a large gap like this, I tend to, for whatever reason, they are valid. People think they're voodoo and they're hocus pocus, but I mean, you can see this 4-hour gap came down here. CE of the 4 hour was respected perfectly, rejected, clean out of that. We had a 5-minute that I took this trade off of earlier. Where was it? Right here. Took this up to this long, or up to this swing point. You even had a pre-market 5-minute that's not showing here. It's right here. I almost took this pre-market. You had a beautiful 5-minute gap that got tapped perfectly into, rejected cleanly out of that. So I mean, there's something to be said for it for whatever reason. I agree with that, Rome. I'm a firm believer, man, that you can find success, and people who are in here all the time are probably tired of hearing this, but I firmly believe this, You can find success with almost any strategy. If you can master your psychology and you can develop a system that works, that keeps you from over trading, that keeps you from revenge trading, keeps you from FOMOing, if you can trade with discipline and a plan, you can find success with almost any strategy. That's my true feelings. So I don't trash people that trade order flow or, ICT or trend lines or supply and demand, any of that. Some people I know have come up with their complete own strategy that they trade. It's loosely based on a bunch of different things, so it's not simply just one thing. I think what I trade is a kind of like that. It's a combination of order flow and momentum with ICT. So I think the biggest thing that you got to worry about trying to find success isn't necessarily strategy hopping. You're the controller of your success. If you can't master your own mind and develop a system of rules that you stick to that prevent you from losing more than you make, you're gonna fail. I'm not buying anything. I'm not in a trade. We took a long off that 5 minute earlier and we banked 972 on it. Do you trade full time? I mean, this is my main source of income. I usually am off by this time. I'm usually off by 11 and doing something else with my day. I have no clue what backdoor granny is, man, but I don't think I want to know. All right, Mac, have a good day, dude. We'll see you tomorrow. You just noticed my sweatshirt? Yeah, they hooked it up, man. They sent me a bunch of stuff. Sent me a really nice polo. What do you mean, JR? I'm getting off soon, Christian. I've just been hanging out, man. I got time. Start a giveaway for the sweatshirt. Dude, I like this thing. It's comfortable. What business? This is Take Profit. What's not my brother, Mac? No, this is a Take Profit sweatshirt. Take Profit Trader. What'd you do, Victor? It is 100% possible to do. Yeah, I know people that are not on social media at all that trade prop firms, and they make a lot of money. Some of the biggest traders actually are not on social media, man. They don't do anything with social media. They want to be anonymous as possible. Is Mac watching? I don't think so. I don't think he watches. He's busy, man. He works a lot. He's always got some projects going. He's got a couple kids now and stuff. So, Victor, I did the same thing earlier, and that's how I lost 2,000. I was up 1,000 on a short, and I was trailing my stop, and I accidentally added to the order 2 minis instead of closing the order with 2 minis. And before I could close it, I was down 2,000 on 5 accounts. So negative 10,000 on the day on those Lucid accounts. Did I ever watch Mac play when he was with the Giants? I did, yeah. Watched him play when he was with the Giants. I watched him play when he was with the Nationals. Yeah, it was fun, man. That was a blast. I miss it. I'm sure he does too. Yeah, I was pissed earlier too, Victor. I was very pissed, man. I understand exactly where you're at. That hoodie's tough. How do I get one? They sent this stuff to me, man. They sent me like a whole box of stuff. You trade a live account or prop firms? Both. I'm up 125. This is my live account right here. I take little trades on it. Two micros generally is what I trade with this account. 2 to 4 maybe. Usually about 2. My guess is scaling account sizes and quantity, right? Account sizes don't necessarily, I don't think that the size of the account is necessarily that important. I think the 50K accounts are a sweet spot. Gives you just enough drawdown where you still have a reasonable target profit of, most of them are 3,000. The 150K accounts I think are a little harder. You know, you got usually like a $9,000 profit target in those. Those are annoying. But yeah, the trick is the quantity, man. So if you're trading like 20 accounts, you know, you'd have a $200, $300, $400, $500 day across 20, 30 accounts. You're doing well. And you just do that on a daily basis without blowing up. You can easily make a decent amount of money from prop firms. I wouldn't say easily, but that is the way to do it. Once you develop a system that works and you can kind of put your system on autopilot, it's definitely the way to do it, is to scale, to reach max allocation with as many firms as you can. Spy call hit, very nice. 1,500, very nice, man. Good job. I hope you have a good day, dude. Just made 1,000 on ES this morning. I'm off the charts for the day. Benny, very nice. Congratulations. You too, man. Appreciate you. Just staying around for you? Nah, I was just don't have much else going on today. I got to hit the gym. I got to do some more meal prep. Probably go sit by the pool, just hanging out. How long did it take you to become profitable? I'm just getting started. I didn't start making any serious money on a consistent basis until my 4th year. I've been trading for 5. So last year is when things really became steady and consistent. It's kind of the same word, but where things really started picking up and staying where I could rely on this to pay bills and not have to worry. Be careful. Be careful, Christian. What news are you looking for? There's no more news scheduled other than Trump speaking at 3 that I'm seeing. All right, Rome, have a good day, man. How can I learn how to trade? I have a video pinned on my page that explains how I would get started if I was starting over. Take care, Rome. That's not USA News. Yeah, that's Great Britain. That's UK News. Nika, have a good day. Not really. It doesn't really have an effect. I don't anticipate that having any effect at all, actually. If you were trading Forex, it would be important to keep an eye on. All right, guys, I'm going to call it there. Ran 40 minutes long today. Give you guys a little bonus. Hope everyone has a good day. We'll be back. We're live every day at 9 a.m. Usually we get off at 11. So if you're new, drop a follow. If you're on the tube over there, drop us a subscription. Subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow. We got NFP tomorrow, so it should be an interesting day. Love you guys. God bless you. Have a good day.